WCB Podcast, your source for all things Chicago Blackhawks and everything hockey. With your host, Jarom and Tanner. Let's do it. Jarom and Tanner.
All right, it's another edition of the WCB Podcast, part of the Hockey Podcast Network, presented by DraftKings. It's Jarom, it's Tanner. What's up, bud?
Oh, nothing much, buddy. You know, just scoring as many goals in the NHL as the Blackhawks most of these games this past week. So,
yeah, it has been fucking brutal. And to say that this all-star break for the Hawks couldn't have come at a better time, I think would be a gross understatement.
yeah, I think that's putting it nicely.
Yeah, so we'll get right into it. Probably gonna be a quicker episode just because there's really not much to talk about.
Yeah.
Last week Hawks went 0 for 4.
Yikes.
They had the big Western trip, Vancouver, Seattle, Edmonton, and Calgary. Thought they were at least gonna get one win. I mean, because Calgary can't fucking beat us.
Yeah, right.
But it's easy to win.
You gotta score. You gotta score a goal. You gotta score a goal to win.
So Hawks kicked it off last Monday as when we finished up recording against Vancouver. Despite being shut out 2-0 in this one, relatively close game.
That's like kind of the theme to all the games that they didn't score.
Yeah.
they were really in all of these games. They just couldn't find the back of the net. It's crazy to me. I don't know if it's like that's just the way she goes, but I mean, we got shut out the week prior to, so 4 shutouts in
the last 5 games. Yeah.
No, in the last 6.
Oh, last 6.
Yeah, because we have the win against the Islanders.
Dude, I always forget about that Islanders game. I don't know why.
The only game they scored more than 2 goals since the
Calgary
last win against Calgary. Yeah. Jesus. The offense has just dried up, but I mean, like, what do you expect? Like, everybody's injured.
You have one player that's supposed to be running your offense, and he's out of the lineup for 6 weeks.
Right, and you're kind of looking at Kurashev, who hasn't really been the most stellar offensively. He contributes offense like when he has somebody to play with, and then you're like everybody wants Reichel to step up, which Reichel played really good in the Calgary game.
I didn't catch that one.
I didn't get to watch some of the games just because they're still late here too. But
I've learned that.
Yeah, I mean, like who else are you going to be getting offense from? Because everybody, like, are you just expecting Jason Dickinson to continue to be like the only one to produce?
Yeah, he's a $4.25 million player now. He better fucking start acting like it.
That's next year. It's
Doesn't
not
matter.
Now. I mean, geez, if Mrazek could score, we'd probably be winning more games too.
Holy shit. I just looked up for the month of January for the Hawks. 3-11.
Yeah.
How many goals do you think they scored the entire month of January in 14 games?
Probably 11.
Oh, wow. You actually really undersold them. 17.
Oh, okay. Because they got shut out. It's 6 times. No, 5 times.
5 times.
And then it's literally like 1 goal games for the most part too.
But yeah, the Vancouver game, I mean, everything happened in the first like 6-7 minutes of the game, and then it was just shut down the rest of the time.
It's pretty funny because Kuzmenko is like the one that like made some of these plays happen. Except for the Quinn Hughes goal was insane. He's so good.
Shot is fucking ridiculous.
What a rip. Just short side, like right over the ear. But Kuzmenko had the assist on the Pius Suter goal, that first one. And I was like, oh my God, like this guy's nasty. And then all of a sudden this week they're like, Vancouver's looking at moving on from Kuzmenko and Chicago might be like the destination. I was like, oh, okay, yes, please.
Yeah, I mean, it does make sense given like what both teams are trying to do right now. Blackhawks need offense, and they have salary cap. They're not looking for term. Kuzmenko has 1 year left on his contract after this season.
He's making like 5.5.
And Vancouver needs cap space. Like, they are so fucked with the cap, and if they want to add pieces to be really be a legitimate contender for the cup come, trade deadline time, they are gonna have to move on from somebody, and he might just be the best player to move.
Yeah, like it would probably, especially if they're trying to like add at the deadline without losing too much, because what their top six, like he's in it, but Elias Pettersson, JT Miller, Brock Besser are really leading that top six, right? And then their third line has just been incredible this year too, with Joshua Dakota and like Teddy Bluger and Connor Garland. Like those guys, like man, every time we play Vancouver, that line, I feel like they're out there all the fucking time because they're just constantly hounding everybody and making plays happen. It's kind of like our Dickinson, Anderson, and Foligno or Blackwell kind of line. But it would be nice to like get another guy from Vancouver that like
I was gonna say too,
are like overpaying, because what we did it with Dickinson, we did it with Beauvillier, which kind of is a messed up situation because if he wasn't hurt, I'm sure he'd be playing like pretty decently, because they come in and they get the opportunity, right? And there's like less expectations, and so I don't know. I like it when we buy low from Vancouver and then end up like they show up.
Yeah, and I think though it's like I don't even think it's like buying, like it's not like we're trying to fleece them like we have with the other trades. I bet you, like, I mean, there'll probably be something in there, but it's gonna probably be like a pick. I mean, one of our million picks that we have in the first 3 rounds coming up.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, if they're really trying to move cap space or trying to move like salary to get cap space, like it might be a cheaper deal than you think.
Right. Like it's literally just like, hey, take this guy. We need the value is the money value coming off the books is worth way more than anything you can give us. Like could be a potential future consideration trade.
Yeah, maybe. That'd be great. I don't think it's gonna be future considerations.
No, I think it's gonna be
it's gonna be at least like a fifth. I don't know. We just gave him a fifth for Anthony Beauvillier too, which is kind of funny.
Might be a little bit higher, I think.
Like a fourth or a third.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look back at like the trades that we have. So we just we got Beauvillier for a fifth. And then where's the last one? Jason Dickinson and a second for Riley Stillman. So that was a pretty good fleecing. What was right before last one before that was we got a fourth for Madison Bowie and a fifth rounder, but the Matthew Highmore for Adam Gaudette, I thought that was going to be a fleecing too, and then Gaudette didn't really do anything. What else? I feel like we've been on the better side of like some of these trades. Nah, that's not a good one. Tanner Caro,
Hawks,
Michael Shepard. No,
Hawks don't have a 4th round pick this year, and their 5th round conditional is already conditioned with Vancouver.
Yeah, and maybe they just give him the other 5th, and they can just have both.
Yeah, just be like, hey, let's just call it a day. Let's call it even. Just keep the 5th, whatever.
Take this 5th, take the other 5th. Who cares?
But we have, Hawks have 7 picks in the first 3 rounds, and then they don't pick again until the 5th and the 6th.
Yeah, unless they like. Here's the thing with the Hawks, man. Like they don't really have much going into this trade deadline to like acquire a whole ton other than like their picks. And I'm assuming maybe they move on from picks in like later years, because like this year is like I'm assuming you'd want to keep all these first 3 round picks, right? Like that would make the most sense.
The first 2 rounds for sure. The 3rd round, I could potentially see maybe that Ottawa pick getting dangled out there for something.
I don't know. I still think like this is you're building the team off of last year or the previous year, this past draft, and then this draft.
I think
so, like you probably want to you want to stack all these picks, and then when it comes down to like, all right, we have our first rounders coming into the league from like Nazar and Korchinski. Rinzel's still probably like a couple of years out. But then you have Bedard and maybe Oliver Moore like after the next season, possibly. And then what our first round pick this upcoming draft, which could possibly be Celebrini. So I think once you have like these 3 years of picks, it's like this is that's where you want to build this team so that's kind of the core going forward, and you can kind of expend or make the 2025, 2026 picks a little bit more expendable.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
even
I
like
mean,
the fourth next year from like the Rangers, or the year after from Ottawa.
right. Yeah, I mean, I could see that. That makes sense too. I think if there's a pick to be dangled out there, it would be the Ottawa pick. But the way Ottawa's playing, that's going to be a pretty good fucking pick too. I mean, that's going to be
Yeah,
pretty high up in the third
that's what
round.
I'm saying. Like, keep that one too.
Yeah.
And maybe like you just throw him somebody like a Rem Pitlick, like as just like a roster player who like is pretty good of a spark plug. We just got him for almost nothing. Or
Right.
maybe, I don't know. Like, I don't want to move on from like Joey and maybe give him fucking Taylor Radish.
You were just so
Dude,
off the Taylor
I'm
Radish.
over it. I'm so over it. But yeah, no, I mean, like it would make sense, right? Like, if you're getting Kuzmenko and they're trying to give up salary, you can still give him Taylor Radish, who has like upside, where he has scored 20 goals in the past. He's on a really cheap deal. He would be able to like
RFA next year.
Yeah, and he's
Or the end of the season.
he's gonna be what, like, put in anywhere in the lineup, really, right? Because he's been playing penalty kill for us this year, and he's been pretty good on the penalty kill. So you go bring him to a team that's going to be making a push in the playoffs. He'll be a pretty good asset.
Yeah,
I think you get more value bringing Kuzmenko in and moving Taylor Radish, and then Kuzmenko getting the ice time and playing with Bedard possibly, and showing that he has the skills still, and then possibly moving him or holding on to him. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to get creative, I think, at this deadline. I don't expect the Hawks to be crazy active. I mean, because the main pieces that were trade bait have all re-signed.
Right. I think the biggest thing that they're gonna move on from is maybe Tyler Johnson.
Yeah, Tyler Johnson will probably retain.
Yeah, which that's easy. That's fine.
I could see. Do you see like a Colin Blackwell or like a Ryan Donato getting moved?
Yeah, I could see that. Donato still has another year though.
At only $2 million, so I mean, that's good depth right there for a team.
Yeah,
I mean, he's not been bad. I know he's been hurt.
No.
So, but I mean,
I think Blackwell's been more valuable since he's came back from injury.
Yeah.
Beauvillier maybe
on his shoulder.
So Beauvillier would be moved. That's what I was saying. Like, maybe Beauvillier would make sense in like Carolina at like some salary retained.
Yeah.
I just don't know when these guys are coming back from injury.
Right. Especially because I think he's got a broken wrist.
Yeah.
Allegedly, because I know they haven't said anything.
Just a messed up wrist.
I don't know how much fucking money is on our goddamn IR.
Yeah, $29.5 million.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the Vancouver game.
That's the Vancouver game. Yeah, 2-0.
Yeah, no, I mean, just like after seeing how Vancouver plays, like obviously they're having a great season. They're playing super well, and if we're able to get somebody off of their team and it ends up being Kuzmenko, like I'd be all for it. Like, it helps us reach the cap floor next year. We get a guy that I think would probably end up having some decent value come to the trade deadline, because obviously if we move on from him and you take some salary, like half back, that guy at like 2.75, if he's putting up close to like 50, 60 points going to a contender, like that's going to be super valuable.
Oh, 100%. Two more things I'll say about this one. One, I love the Vancouver the skate jersey with the matte black helmets. Fucking filthy.
Dude, the matte black helmets are nice.
The matte helmets in general, Arizona with the maroon ones too. Fuck those chrome ones. Fuck you.
It's
Vegas.
funny that they've gone into the chrome helmets and then other teams have gone into the matte. I really like the matte better, but that's just me being an old guy.
Oh, dude, so much better. And two, stop us if you heard this game or heard this before this year. Despite the Hawks losing this game, Peter Mrazek played fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
Again.
That's basically the theme of the week.
The theme of the season. Let's be honest.
It's if Mrazek had a team that could put up 2.5 goals a game, like that's like a low end team, we'd be winning majority of these games.
Yeah, and both goals that he finished the game with 27 saves and 29 shots for 931 save percentage. Both goals he had no fucking chance.
Yeah.
The Suter one was just a fucking fantastic pass that should not have gotten through.
No, and it was like a spinorama pass, and I was like, that's when I was like, God damn, Kuzmenko is so good.
Yeah.
And then when they're like, oh, they're thinking about moving him, I was like, I guess because I don't watch Vancouver too often, like maybe he's not having that good of a season. But he looked really good against the Hawks in that first period.
Yeah, and then we already talked about the Quinn Hughes fucking snipe and a half. So it's like the 2 goals, nothing he can do about it. Then we go on to Wednesday against the Kraken. Hawks won the first one 4-3. Seattle won the next one 7-1. So this was just a toss-up. What kind of game was it going to be? And it was a fucking shit show.
Seattle just knows how to score against the Hawks.
They needed this game.
I feel like over the last couple of seasons, like the Kraken put at least 5 against the Hawks in over like majority of the games that they play against each other.
I believe it. I mean, they win the season series 2-1. 6-2 is the final. Soderblom, I mean, he played this one. I didn't see this game. To be fair, I didn't see any games this week. I just saw highlights.
On TNT. I didn't get to see it because I don't have TNT. Soderblom, let me tell you what, he's no Mrazek.
Yeah, stat-wise, it doesn't look good. I don't know how many of these were just fucking on him, though, and how much were nothing he could do. But, yeah, I don't know. I hate that we can't beat the new franchises.
Yeah, it's all right. I think one of the storylines of the game was, I think Joey Decord was like playing incredible from our friend group. Just like seeing the text and I'm just like, God damn, this guy's good. He's having a good season.
Oh yeah, I saw like the first couple minutes he made an unreal save. 32 saves, 34 shots, 941 save percentage. I mean, he's the Mrazek for this team. He's like keeping this team in contention.
And they have goal scoring though.
Yeah, and yet they're still fighting for on the outside looking in for the playoffs, I believe.
I think that I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah, right now they're 2 points out of the last wild card. So I mean they're right there. That 8-game win streak definitely helped them, and getting the Hawks in the schedule when they did was probably a huge benefit for them as well.
Oh my God. Just looking at the fact that this is the only game that they scored goals in this whole week. Jesus Christ. I gotta see how many shots they actually took this whole week too. Don't mind me.
I can pull it up here real quick.
I'm looking at shots total. The Hawks had a lot of shots this week, which is they outshot 3 out of the 4 teams that they played. They had the 4th most shots this past week. And you know what their
2 goals.
Do you know what their shooting percentage was?
2.
No, 1.6.
God.
Oh my God, dude. 1 point, God. 124 shots and 2 goals. You know what the other teams around those, like the Blue Jackets had 120 shots. They had 12 goals. They had a 10% shooting percentage. That's brutal. The stats since Bedard's been out is kind of wild.
Yeah, let's pulled up.
Yeah, I got everything pulled up. Peter Mrazek.
Now you want to get the recap real quick.
Let's finish the other games that they didn't score.
Nothing happened. Yeah. Okay.
It's Peter Mrazek plays incredible. The Hawks can't score a goal to save their life, and oh man, he lets in 2 and he lets in 1. Jesus.
Connor McDavid just up the pooper with the Hawks again. 3 points.
What are you gonna do? You get a power play goal because it's unfair. I don't think the Hawks got a power play this whole game too against Edmonton.
Nope.
They got a penalty shot. That's right. They got a penalty shot, and it was Mackenzie.
And whistle. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, so that was not gonna happen. So the Hawks got shut out 3-0 against the Oilers.
Yes.
The third star of the game was Peter Mrazek.
Yeah, because he's incredible. Yeah, a 9-3. Like, that's the thing. If you let in less than, or like 2 goals or less against the Oilers on the last place team in the league, facing off against the hottest team in the league currently, you gotta be a star, right? Like, you gotta be.
You have to be. Oh, you know what else was big about this game against the Oilers? It set a franchise record.
For the Oilers?
No, for the Hawks.
Oh. Oh, is it the most road losses in a row or something?
Yep. 19.
19.
The Hawks last one. When the Hawks last one on the road, the moms were in the building.
Mom's trip. Yeah, that's right. It's the
Corey Perry was still a Blackhawk.
Oh my God. The moms
Connor Bedard,
are going to be pumped for that one.
Yeah, I believe it was Connor Bedard's first multi-point game of his career.
Yeah, it was the nasty,
was it 4 points?
Side flip over Bobrovsky. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I can't wait till he comes back.
We need him.
So here's the craziest thing. The Hawks aren't playing bad. They got shut out. They've been out shooting. Like I said, they outshot the team, 3 out of the 4 teams. They got outshot by Edmonton. They played actually really good. They just cannot find the back of the net because they have nobody that can really score. But as a team, defensively have played well. And, I mean, obviously, Mrazek's been incredible. But it's so weird to be what a shitty week when they haven't played that bad.
And that's
for what they are, really. Right.
Right. And that's the takeaway you need to have with this team. I see people online getting frustrated with, the Hawks just keep on losing. But it's listen, this team, this is what they're built for.
Every player that is on this team that can score goals is on injured reserve.
Right.
That's pretty much it.
There is no offensive weapons on this team at the current time. But yeah, this is exactly how it's going. It's going to plan, and this is I'm excited and I'm happy and I am ready to see what this rebuild turns into, because right now, like we said a couple weeks ago, it's amazing having a GM that puts a plan out there, sticks to it, and is going to see it through, and that's what we're seeing right now.
Man. It's just this 1.6 shooting percentage.
Right. And don't get me wrong, it sucks watching the Hawks get shut out and not picking up a win here and there, losing 20 games in a row on the road. But it's at the same time, unless we're contending for the cup, honestly, I can give 2 shits.
Right. It's
as long as the team has been improving and taking steps, and you can see this team taking steps.
Yeah, I would be more disappointed if these losses were 8-0, 7. You know how when San Jose earlier in the year was losing games 2 or 3 in a row by over 10 goals, that kind of shit. That would be dude, why are we even here? It's fun to watch the team because they're playing well as a team. It's just disappointing that they're not getting any kind of results when, like I said, if Mrazek is on any other team, they go 4-0 this week.
Right.
Or at least 3-0 because he played 3 games. They go 3-0 this week because of his stats.
And then here's the thing too. I think it's the perfect way to describe what's going on with this team. Last year with Mrazek, how we were always talking about dude, he just deserves a win. Yep. Same thing, just apply to this entire team. This team is playing good. They deserve a win.
I feel at some point they're going to start getting the puck luck, and there's going to be a game that they just put in 8 for no reason.
And hopefully they're building it up for when Bedard's back and he puts in all 8.
Yeah, that'd be great.
It's got to get those Rookie of the Year numbers back up. So it's going to.
He's still in first place, which is so funny.
But in the last game for the week, Calgary Flames 1-0 shutout.
Another game that I mean, obviously Mrazek played great, but the Hawks played great, and they just couldn't get a goal, couldn't buy a goal. And oh my God, man. Before the game even starts, Darren Pang says, Elias Lindholm has gone 15 games without a goal. And then I turn to my wife and I go, motherfucker, Elias Lindholm's going to score this game. Scores the only goal.
On the power play. So it's like even that one too. It's like it was such a weird one too. I'm rewatching it right now.
Yeah, it goes off of like Tenorti's skates and then right to Lindholm's stick, and there's nothing Mrazek could have done about it.
Yeah.
But Jesus, it's just what was it? Chuk had a really good opportunity to score on a breakaway during this game, but Markstrom, just being 6'5", like just had enough of his foot to get on it when he. Oh man, it was like I thought the Hawks were going to definitely put one in. This is the game that Reichel was playing fantastic. I thought he was going to end up getting one.
Yeah, that's just the way it's going. It's funny. Like I didn't see your text. You're like, yeah, Reichels been playing really great. I hope he gets one. Didn't look at it. I looked it up. I was like, oh, cool. I mean, let's see how the game went. I saw 1-0 shutout. I was like, nope, didn't get it.
No, it was pretty funny because like right after I had sent the text, I was like, man, yeah, Reichel's playing really good. And then like a minute or two later, Darren Pang Reichel's having a great game. I was like, yeah, buddy, I know. I mean, I love having Darren Pang as like part of the commentary team because he actually knows what he's talking about.
I know he deserves better than Foster's.
Yeah. And Calgary finally beats the Hawks first time in like at least 2 years.
God damn.
Anyway,
3 stars of the week.
Oh, jeez, I don't. Let me see.
I'll give it to you. Mrazek for 3rd star.
For 3rd?
Second star, Peter. And then 1st star, Peter Mrazek.
Just Peter Mrazek, 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Seth Jones could be 3rd star because he had 2 assists on the only 2 goals that were scored this week. Man, I don't know.
Who had another goal this week? Let's give it to them.
It was Foligno and Joey Anderson.
He had a power play goal.
So you want to do Foligno 3, Seth Jones 2, and then Peter Mrazek 1.
Looking for a super offer for Super Bowl 58? DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered. New customers can bet on the big game now and turn $5 into $200 instantly in bonus bets. And if you're like me who just doesn't care about the Super Bowl and the teams in it and all that, you can bet on the novelty bets. Coin toss, who's going to win, what team's going to win the coin toss. Is it going to be the team win the coin toss and win the game? All of that is available in the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Download the Sportsbook app now and use code THPN. New customers can bet $5 to get $200 instantly in bonus bets only on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 58 with code THPN. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino Resort in Kansas. 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bet expires 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.com/football for eligible and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gambling resources.
Jeez. So,
and you know what? And
hey, let's talk about that Peter Mrazek stat that I brought up before.
Well, here, real quick. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, on top of that, you know what he gets? You know what he gets for being named 1st star of the week on the WCB podcast?
What's that?
A 2-year contract extension.
Oh, yes. Yes. Which, much to the chagrin of everybody that hasn't been watching the Hawks this year, they're like, "Oh, what an overpayment!" Yeah, everybody. That's all anybody says whenever Hawks are signing deals. But literally, Peter Mrazek has been the brightest spot on this team besides Bedard, and nobody knows because everybody is still just like, he was shit in Toronto, but he's playing so well this season.
Do people realize that you need to get to a cap floor? Like, do people not even the cap floor, do people realize what a rebuild is?
Yeah.
Like, what it takes, like, that you can't just go and spend a bunch of money on top tier players right away. If you want to do this right and build it right, you got to give money to role players that are gonna help further your team until you're ready to make that jump. That's what the Hawks are doing.
Yes.
I don't know what else to say.
I mean, and he's consistently played well, like, for this whole season. There's only a few games here and there that, like, have just not gone his way. But having somebody who's steadily playing great is a huge help for the team too. Because, I mean, if you have somebody that's letting all of these fucking goals in, all you're doing is demoralizing the majority of this, like, young defensive core. His play has been much more helpful to these guys than I think a lot of people realize.
100%. And I'm so excited that they have him and Foligno locked in to kind of mentor the next crop of players, you know?
Yeah. And I mean, goddamn, his stats this week, he had a 9.46 save percentage and a 1.71 goals against average. Those, you win games with that. But in order to win games, you got to score goals. The Hawks just did not a single goal in any of the games that Peter Mrazek played. What are you gonna do?
Drop your stat, Tanner.
Oh my God. Okay, so out of all of the goalies in the NHL this past week who had at least a 940 save percentage, there's 12 goalies, and they had a combined winning record of 15, 3, and 1. So literally every goalie won when they had over a 940 save percentage, besides Laurent Brossoit, because I think he played against somebody who also had like a shutout. Or not a shutout maybe, but like high save percentage. But everybody won, and Mrazek is the 3 losses for those 12 goalies. And like that's so dumb. It is so dumb. But he God, I feel so bad for him because it's like, again, he deserves a win, but I'm not glad, but it's helpful that we're not winning because it gives us the best chance at getting another first overall and taking over the league in like 3 to 4 years, 5 years at the most.
The fact too, and the fact that he agreed to re-sign here,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it makes it a little bit easier to be like, okay, he's not getting the wins, but you know what? He's at least happy enough to be like, you know what? Sure, I'll take your $4.25 million.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I think he does like playing here because I think he's having more fun playing hockey again because he's playing so well. Like he said, I think you brought it up last week where he said it's kind of like rejuvenated his career coming here because he was like pretty down on it. Which I'm glad that he's playing well. I really hope that we can start putting something together while he's still on the team so he gets some success under his belt with this team rather than just being here for like the bad years, right?
Yeah, I hope.
It's like being the hobby bullet, right? Like,
right.
You're kind of stuck on a team that is trying to figure it out and rebuild back up, and then I don't know. He's playing fantastically, and hopefully he's still here when we see the success rather than like getting someone else brought in. But who knows?
I think it sucks because I feel like, I mean, he's more likely to be here, I think. And I feel bad for Foligno. Like, I don't think he's going to still be around here once this team starts being good. Yeah. I think that'll be towards the end of his career.
You know, it's going to be like funny though, is I can see Foligno going from being on the ice to being on the bench, like immediately.
100%. Yeah.
You know, just kind of have somebody like him still in the locker room, still around the team, like whether it's in like a coaching capacity or just like a court, I don't know, like a conditioning kind of guy. Who knows?
Yeah.
Just some sort of.
I mean, look at Brian. Look at Brian Campbell. He can be like the Brian Campbell for a forward player development. You know.
Yeah. Yes. Player development. That's literally what I was trying to think of, and I couldn't think of the word or the term. It's fucking idiot. But yeah, it'd be great.
Yeah, so looking ahead, there's nothing to look ahead to. The Hawks do not play again until after the All-Star break, which
no one on the Hawks plays again.
Yeah. So hopefully they get some rest and fucking learn how to score goals in their time away. So at least get one, give Mrazek one goal support.
Do you think that the Hawks were just doing dry January and not scoring goals?
They failed a couple times, but yeah. After the Calgary game, I like my text to you guys. I'm like, so the Hawks just aren't going to score again until Bedard comes back, right?
I think they're just saving all the goals for when he comes back.
Do you think they forget that Bedard's injured sometimes? And they're just like, oh no, we need a goal. All right, Bedard will take it. Oh fuck, yeah. He's not here.
Oh man, when does he come back?
It's like 4 or 5
late
weeks
February.
Now. Late February, early March. I think March 4th against Colorado would be.
He won't be back for next week. He won't be back for the Kane return.
No,
that sucks.
Will Kane be back for the Kane return?
Yeah, I saw something on NHL.com that said he's going to be back like right after the All-Star break, I think.
Oh, cool. All right. Yeah, Hawks play again on Wednesday, the 7th.
Kane expects to play after All-Star break.
Okay.
So the first game after the break on February 10th against Vancouver. So hopefully he's still healthy by the time the Hawks play him. And I mean, when the Hawks get back from the All-Star break, they literally are at home the entire month of February besides the 19th.
Yep, they got Minnesota, New York, Vancouver, Pittsburgh, Ottawa, Carolina. Whew, that's a lot of tough games.
Yeah, but you know what's pretty funny? If I can find where it would be, I think Mrazek has played better at home than he has away.
He's been playing pretty fucking good away.
Yeah.
Split stats.
Yeah, if I could find him, that'd be great.
Hockey Reference, I know.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just looking. Mrazek's he's incredible.
But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, Hawks get back on the ice on the 7th. You got the trade deadlines. What, the 8th of March? Is it late this year?
I don't know.
Something like that, or like first week of March. Teams are going to be, a lot of teams are going to be gunning when they see the Hawks on the schedule, because that's like, these are games that they need to win, if they're expecting to be playoff, and you can't afford to give up 2 points against the Hawks. And we can't afford to get 2 points because we are battling for Celebrini right now. And thank God right now we are dead last in the NHL. Best odds. But yeah, I don't know. Prospect looked. And then wrap up Hawks talk.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm just still looking at how amazing Mrazek's been, at least since January has started. He's been incredible
over there.
He's got no support. The Hawks since January 1st have only put up 1.61 goals per game, and he's got like a 2.0 goals against average. It's so shitty. Anyway, Hawks prospects. Oh baby.
Is it looking
so
good?
Excited.
So let's start with the big two, Nazar and Moore. Nazar, Big Ten, first star of the week, 3 goals, 2 assists. How are you? Oliver Moore, Big Ten, second star of the week, 2 goals, 2 assists. How are you? Sam Renzel, defenseman, 12 assists over his last 5 games.
Oh, okay.
22 for the season. He has 23 points, 1 goal, 22 assists. He's third on Minnesota in points.
Okay, he's behind Oliver Moore and who else?
No, he is above Oliver Moore.
Oliver Moore's got 25 points.
Oliver Moore's got 21 points.
On Elite Prospects, it says that he's got 25. 6 goals, 19 assists.
When was this posted? Oh, never mind. This is a week old.
Okay, so
I'm looking at the wrong stat thing. Yeah, so you're right. So Rinzel even might have more points than that.
No, he's got 1 in 22 still.
Oh, okay. Fuck. Well, if you got the stats, then you go through it because what I'm looking at is old news.
Yeah, so Sam Rinzel got 1 goal, 22 assists. Oliver Moore, 6 goals, 19 assists. We got Frank Nazar, total of 13 goals, 19 assists. Guy that might be coming to the Hawks, actually says he wants to sign with the Hawks. Landon Slaggert, 16 goals, 9 assists. Those are the NCAA guys that are kind of putting up. So, Ryan Green, also 7 goals, 16 assists, playing for Boston University. Hey, he's already playing with Celebrini.
Hey,
that's a good sign. I don't know. When it comes to like the OHL, we got Nick Lardis, who's got 50 points in 37 games. Gavin Hayes, who played for Team USA at World Juniors, he's got 49 points in 34 games. He got moved to the Sioux Greyhounds, and he's got 13 points in 7 games while being there. 7 goals in 7 games. And then Paul Lidvinsky, he's got 43 points in 36 games. Those are our OHL guys. Other than that, I think those are like the top dogs. So Ethan Del Mastro, he in the AHL, he's got 18 points in 38 games. I saw something recently that like the Ice Hogs weren't even, or like I don't know if it's the Hawks organization or the Ice Hogs organization, they weren't expecting him to be as good as he is his first year there.
He's an AHL All-Star too.
Yep, he's an All-Star. Colton Dock's back from injury, I think, or he's been skating, so he's got 16 points in 23 games. Who else is like a big name?
Dude, I think Nick Lardis, it might turn out to be the steal of that draft last year.
Oh, absolutely.
Like Oliver Moore falling to us in the first round where he did, that's awesome. But the fact that we got, what was it, the second round, early second round, third round. Holy shit.
Yeah, when they picked him and the guys were like, he's still on the board. I was like, oh, I love to hear that. But yeah,
I'm
playing pretty well. Gotta love it.
So excited.
Right.
That's all I got for Hot Stock.
I think that's about it. Yeah.
NHL Talk. Yeah, NHL Talk. Obviously, the All-Star weekend's coming up. It was just now Jack Hughes is out, being replaced by Jesper Bratt, and Barzal is taking his spot in the skills competition.
Which I think that's a good replacement. Barzal's going to match up well in like the speed contest, at least probably do pretty well in like the passing and accuracy, but hardest shot probably not. I don't think Jack Hughes was really going to put up anything in the hardest shot either, though.
No. I feel bad for Jack Hughes, man. He's another guy that's just every time he gets going well, he starts struggling, gets injured bug.
Let's see. Well, I'm excited for the All-Star draft, but I was going to say, who do you think is going to end up winning the skills competition?
I don't actually think I know who's in it.
That's what I'm trying to figure out now too, because what Makar came out and said that he told his all of his D-men that he'll get.
Oh, was it Byram that said it? Byram said that Makar told him if he wins it.
Everybody on the back end for Colorado gets $100K, and they're like, yeah, so I guess I'm gonna go for him. Let's see. I don't know who's. Oh, is this no?
Here we go.
Yes.
Pasternak,
Mm-hmm.
McKinnon, Makar, Draisaitl, McDavid, Barzal, Kucherov, Matthews, Nylander, Quinn Hughes, JT Miller, Elias Pettersson.
Yes. And who do you think's going to win the skills comp?
The way it's going with the season, I got my money on Nate Dogg.
Oh, yeah?
Dude, he's playing fucking unreal right now.
Yeah, but this is the skills comp, bro. I think that Elias Patterson is going to win. He won hardest shot last year.
Yeah, I think it's going to be rigged for either Nylander or Matthews.
How's it going to be rigged?
I don't know.
The skills comp?
It's a new skills competition. It's different than normal.
That's not. It's still like fastest skater, like accuracy shooting, hardest shot. There's like a stick handling thing. I don't know, like a shootout. It's still a lot of the same stuff. It's just now
the way they were making it sound like it was completely different format.
No, it's just the 12 guys are competing in everything. I think, unless I don't know if they take any breaks out of any of them, but I thought that they just competed in everything. But out of
you would think they would all compete. It was just 12 guys.
Yeah, I'm curious to know, like, is it just like the top 3 get like a points awarded to them, or how they doing it?
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I don't know. I'm excited for this. The only thing, the draft and this are the only things I'm really excited for. I mean, the game, I can care less. I mean, All-Star game has not been entertaining for a while.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Yeah, they got to make it worthwhile for like the players, right? Especially since they also don't want to like get hurt.
Yeah. All right. Last thing I have, and it's shitty.
Oh yeah,
to be grossly understated, but we've talked about it before. The 2018 Team Canada, controversy with the alleged sexual assault cover up and all that. Well, it was finally announced that 5 players had been summoned to turn themselves into London police, and names slowly kind of started trickling out because players were taking leaves of absence from the teams.
Yep.
4 current NHLers all have been asked to surrender to be charged with sexual assault. Carter Hart, Mike
McLeod,
Dylan Dubé, Cal Foot, or the NHLers, and then
Cal Foot. And then it's Alex Formenton. You said Kale.
Oh my god.
I love it when I just let you go ahead and say his names and you just know it's gonna be messed up. It's so funny.
It's a good thing this isn't a serious subject or anything like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. Those are some big names too for these players.
Yeah, I mean Carter Hart probably the biggest, right? But then 2 guys out of New Jersey, and then Calgary with the shittiest post, just being like, Dylan Dubé is going to take time away for personal reasons or like mental health
reasons. But okay, so to be fair, I saw somebody question that to Emily Kaplan, and she said that from what she understood, a lot of these players' lawyers were told to not give specific reasons as to why they were requesting the leave of absence. So they try to keep it like a general statement, to try to keep it. That's what she said. So I don't know the truth to that or how it is. I think the mental health thing was probably the wrong way to do it. They should have just asked for leave of absence for personal reasons, like every other team.
Maybe it's because it's not mental health currently, but it's about to be.
Yeah, that's true. That is fair.
About to be a lot of shit he's going through.
So it's gonna be really interesting to see how this plays out, because I believe there was like 8 players originally that they said.
Yeah, I think it got whittled down to 5.
They got whittled down to 5. Are these players gonna make some sort of plea deal and give more names out and throw more justice? I mean, how much are they gonna fight it? What's gonna be happening? Because everything is where there's smoke, there's fire, obviously. But everything right now is alleged. There's no proven innocent. It's innocent until proven guilty.
Mm-hmm.
I know times have changed, and that's really not the case anymore. But it's like you have to give people benefit of the doubt and give them a right to defend themselves. Regardless. I mean,
yeah, I think from like the timeline that I had seen for how this went down was like charges were not brought against players because like it was settled out of court, but then like now or more recently, like 2022 or something, like the police department decided to reopen the case, and it's just like, well, don't do dumb shit.
And this goes to, we talked about this before, and it's like, it's not just these players who need to be held accountable if this has truly happened.
Yeah.
Hockey Canada needs to be held accountable as well. They use funds that is a requirement of all Canadian players to play hockey in Canada. You have to pay your Team Canada fee or your Hockey Canada fees, which is like if you're in USA, you play USA Hockey Insurance. It's the same thing. And Hockey Canada use those funds to pay cover up here.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, I think they cleaned house already, but it's like,
yeah, they did. Everybody like either resigned or was like let go.
Yeah, something needs to be done though, like to show that this stuff like this isn't going to happen, and if it does happen, it's going to be held accountable. I mean,
like, well, how much would you agree that like they need to like, if they are found guilty, like it really need to like do something to show that like this isn't going to stand at all in the future, like you can't have them back into the NHL, right? Because then how is hockey culture going to change if like really if you're good enough to make it, you can do whatever the fuck you want, spend some time away, and then come back.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see these guys playing in the NHL for a long time, if ever again. I mean, and it's tough, it really is tough because they were kids. I mean, let's be honest, they were kids when this happened.
Right, but you gotta tell them, like, you gotta kind of show that even if you're kids, like, you don't want future NHL players or future just hockey players in general pulling the same type of shit just to kind of be like, well, they're kids at the time. It's like, it's fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. Like, I'm not downplaying it at all or anything like that. It's just, it's one of those things where it's a shitty situation. It really is. And if they did what they are being accused of doing, then I hope they get the book thrown at them, and I hope that whatever punishment they get fits the crime. And if that means never playing in the NHL again, then it's like, hey, listen, that's your own doing. You did this to yourself by putting yourself in this situation.
It's just the way she goes.
Yeah. I really think Kyle Beach, man, he started a movement here, and I feel he kind of gave the voice of people that may have felt that they didn't have a voice really.
Or just felt that they were going to get backlash for trying to go after like NHL, right? Like anybody that's a part of the show.
I don't think this is going to be the last situation we hear about that, like something like this. I think more skeletons are going to start coming out as more people get held accountable for what they did. I think more people are going to be saying, like, you know what, time for me to speak up, and it's time for me to, make this person pay for what they did. And it's bound to happen in these giant organizations: NHL, NBA, NFL, MLB, international sports. Like, face it, it's an amazing game. I love the sport, but once you get to the fucking political side of it and all that stuff, it's shady as shit.
Or the way the culture has been, you got to change it. And so, I mean, get this shit out of there.
You got to do something. And you know what? The best way to start is to make examples of people who did something.
Yeah.
So
stop being
all right. On that very high note, let's we'll call it episode 261. What do you want to call it, Tanner?
I'm trying to think.
What Mrazek pun are you going to do this week?
Well, I'm going to say, like, spare a goal, like, can't buy a goal, or I don't know.
I like spare a goal. Could you spare a goal?
Could you spare a goal?
Yeah, I like that.
Jesus.
All right. Episode 261. Make sure to follow us on your favorite podcast feed, Spotify, Apple Podcasts being the big two. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, social media at WCB Podcast, and promo code THPN, DraftKings. Super Bowl's coming up. I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of Taylor Swift inspired prop bets. So get in on that. Yeah, we'll see you next week.
Yeah. All right. Love you guys. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the WCB Podcast. Be sure to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast. To connect with Jarom and Tanner, check out the boys at WCB Podcast on all social media. We'll see you next time.